Yeah. I've seen it jump so high. There are hundreds of them. They're coming from all the way around there and all the way around here. I'm really putting on a show. Woo! Woo! Hello and welcome to Africa. Not quite the Gambia yet though.
No, we couldn't get in the Gambia River before dark on our last day, so we nipped into a national park in Senegal, and I'm very glad we did. This place is superb.
It's lovely and we'll be here for a few days, I think. But the trip down was interesting.
It had everything. We really did. All sorts of sailing. There's good trade wind, downwind sailing, and some other types of things as well. And those dolphins. I mean, it had everything.
And dolphins. I hope you like the film. Coming up, getting ready for our big winter sail to Africa and beyond. Playing with dolphins in the middle of the Atlantic. And battling with the elements to keep the boat sailing. We begin our journey in the anchorage in Las Palmas, where we stayed over Christmas. The place is a bit of a mecca for boats. New Year celebrations here are a thing of legend. Everyone, everywhere is having a party.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne?
Fireworks light up the sky and we have the best seat in the house. Welcome 2024.
For old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For days of old lang syne.
It's a lovely morning. Got my morning coffee. I'm getting one of the jobs done off the list, which is the Yankee. I just dropped it down because the leech tape has slipped through. I stupidly pulled on the other end, didn't realise that the knot had come undone this end, and pulled it through. And once it's through, it was up to here. It's impossible to pull back down, so I've actually had to cut a little slit in there, and I'll just use my little leader tape here to put up and pull this back through to the end there and tie it off, because we don't want a flapping leech. It's not nice to have that. And if you've got a YouTube channel, definitely don't have one, because every single pedant that is out there, as soon as you do a shot where you've got even a slightly flapping leech on your sow, will point out what a bad Sally you are. So yeah, better get this done.
Getting a little bit grumpy there, Steve. Maybe a good time for a short trip ashore.
Well, one of the stops we want to make is to the pharmacia. You can get things on prescription.
You can, antibiotics, all those things which you wish you had if anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
So
Just show your boat details to the man and you get what you want.
half an hour later, we have an assortment of creams, painkillers, and yes, antibiotics. Enough, we hope, to protect us from whatever we may come across over the coming months. The next job, vacuum packing food for the freezer. And cooking. So we're doing a lot of the cooking before we go. This is my every vegetable I could find in the shop, and chickpeas and coconut milk curry, which we will parcel up and put into the freezer. And then this is my lemon drizzle cake, which, as you can see,
Yum.
Steve has already eaten half. So I expect I'll have to make another one by tomorrow so we can have one to go for the freezer as well.
Can you freeze lemon drizzle cake? I didn't know that. Freeze it.
Yeah.
Make several.
I'll make you another one. One more. and have this for tea.
We also have work to do getting the boat ready.
I'm taking the second anchor off the bow. This is our bugle, so it sits up there with the Ultra, which is obviously down holding us at the moment. But yeah, I don't really need all that extra weight on the bow for an ocean crossing. We don't really use a second anchor anyway. I might not even put it back on till we get to the Bahamas. It's useful sort of for Bohemian type mooring, but apart from that, you don't really need it. It's just a spare anchor. So yeah, could do without the weight on the bow for this. So just take it off here and stow it in the locker, which is a good sort of, I don't know, 10 foot further back, so that makes a difference, and I can pull the chain back in as well and have that a long way back, so less weight in the bow is always good. Well, that's not bad. Got everything that I need in there for this trip, at least down to the Gambia. We're not going to put the dinghy on there, we'll have the dinghy on top. Of the Atlantic, I want to put the dinghy in here. So the kayak, which is this one, I'll have to come out and go inside, and then it'll slot in there nicely. And yeah, should be able to get to anything that I want to get to, which is the point of that. So yeah, close that up, get on with the next job. So another little power issue I just wanted to check was that the starter battery was charging properly every time the engine was running. I had to change the AGM battery when we were in Madeira, and that's a bit odd because it's only 3 years old, it doesn't get a lot of cycles, should last a lot longer than that. So I was worried that the automatic feature that I have in these, I use these Orion TR Smart units to charge both the house bank when we're on shore power and the engine battery when I'm running the engine, and you know, they deliver the right profile for you know, those respective batteries, because you just program that into the unit. This is all in the video that we did on putting the lithium batteries in. You can see the wiring diagram and everything in there. But yeah, I was thinking maybe that's not working properly, and that's why, you know, they're dying early. So I rewired it onto the ignition switch. So when you have the ignition switch on, it will start the charging, and it's not using its automatic feature. Now there's a problem with this. If you look at their manual, is conflicting ideas. These two different diagrams of how to do it. If you do it this way, you will break the unit, and that's what I did with this one. And there's lots of people that have done that online, exactly the same thing. So yeah, wasn't too pleased with that. And I actually wrote on the Victron site, just trying to say, well, you know, what should I do and what's happened. And it was fast flashing both of the lights, and I didn't know if it was broken or whether it was fixable or what. It looks like it is broken, I can't fix it. But surprisingly, I actually got a call back the next day. Someone from Victron rang me and explained the whole situation and said, yes, we know that there's conflicting ideas in there, but he also said there's a 5-year warranty on all these things. These are only a couple of years old, so yeah, when I can find a dealer, you can exchange it anywhere in the world, apparently. So yeah, I'll keep it and I'll do that. But for now, I can't do that. So I have taken the one off here, which was the one for when we're on shore power, because we're not going to be on shore power for a while, and put it there, and program that now for the AGM battery, and wired it properly with this diagram. This is the one that you do, just one wire to the high side, take the bridge out. If you wire it that way, works absolutely fine. So now when I turn that on, detects it and starts charging the starter battery. So that's what I need.
Still with the boat checks, rigging. Everything's okay up at the top, but there are some loose cables that need to be secured after we removed the mast in Portugal. Now seems a good time to get that done.
Don't forget with your rig check to check all your lifelines. You don't want to have any chafing going on with the wire. It's good to have the bare wire. When we bought Fair Isle, it had plastic covered wire and you just don't know what's going on underneath that. So we changed it before we left Eastbourne. But the other thing to check with this that the Arc are pretty strong on is how they're held. They like to have split pins, not split rings. So I did change them all to split pins like this one here, but actually some of those tended to get caught on things, and actually some of them weren't very good quality stainless steel either. They started to rust, so I did start to change them, and I have gone back to split rings like this. If you can find ones that are really tough, that don't have the bits that stick out the edge, then I found these to be fine. I prefer them, in fact. The ones you don't want are these. This is obviously something I put on when I had one of my rusty split pins and wanted to get something on there, get rid of it, and I don't like those ones. These ones that got these little bits sticking here, they're far too easy to catch and be pulled out, and if you don't notice, then yeah, you can just lose the cotter pin part of it and lose the whole thing. So yeah, try and get these ones that are haven't got those little bits that stick out and are quite tough, and I find at least that they don't come out, and I'm quite happy with those rather than the split pins, because the split pins, you've got to be really careful about how you bend them back not to catch on, you know, clothes and ropes and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I think these are good.
Finally, well, nothing's ever final with boats, but you know what I mean. We fill up with diesel and water. We pay €6 a day for anchoring here, and for that we can use as much water as we like. Steve is getting his money's worth.
Well, we're getting water. You're spraying everything down.
Yeah, it's good. Got a couple of hoses here, so might as well get that done as well. Get the evil sand off the boat. I'm having the grandkids on here, we've got sand everywhere, so get that off.
You love them.
Don't love the sand though.
And before we put the dinghy away, with Fair Isle back in the anchorage, one last trip.
So is that it? Is that the last of the rubbish gone?
That is the last of the rubbish gone, and I found some onions.
Oh, well done.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah. It wasn't easy on a holiday. All the big places were closed.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
There we go, but we did get onions and cash.
Oh yeah, yes, we do need cash. Going to Africa, cash economy.
Anchors up, Steve.
Yep, you might need to go back and steer me a little bit, we're veering off. But yeah, I think we've got most things done. Not everything. I think if you wait to get everything done, we'd be here forever. So we might as well just go. We got one more night, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We are cheating a little bit. We're not on our way to Africa just yet. I'm just going to go back and help Steve by pulling the boat around again. We're going to be stopping at an anchorage about 4 hours away and do some final checks then, just to make sure everything is as it's supposed to be before we take off. So, nearly ready. One more stop to go.
Leaving this industrial anchorage is not as easy as you may think, because at any time there are dozens of container ships coming and going and anchored outside. It takes the best part of an hour to get out to sea. Then we are on our way with a perfect breeze from behind. From the anchorage, it's about 1,000 miles to the Gambia, past Mauritania and Senegal. Gambia's capital, Banjul, is at the mouth of the river, and we are planning to travel up to Lamin Lodge, which is a good place to anchor. But first, yes, you guessed, more boat jobs. One of the reasons we made this stopover is to get some clear water to scrape the bottom of the boat. It's not looking too bad. And when the wind picks up, we are on our way.
Well, that's it then. We are now officially off and on our way to the Gambia. It'll take us about 7 days, we reckon. So Steve is setting up to catch us some dinner. Dinner tonight?
Dinner tonight? Every night, yeah, fish every night. I'm confident. I've got rod the other side as well on my new holder. I'm trying to have it sort of in eyesight, because yesterday I caught a fish with the hand line. It went out really quickly. By the time I got to it, the fish had got itself off. So I think I want it close, and I can grab it nice and quick then. We'll see.
Here's the wind prediction for our journey. Good wind from behind most of the way, with just one dead spot about 4 days in. We may have to motor a bit there, and then good wind again to Banjul. The strong following breeze has brought with it a bit of chop, But this is the Atlantic, so there's a rolling ocean swell. You don't get that in the Med. So here we are, all alone. And then this happens.
I know! Woo! Come on then! Hey!
I've seen him jump so high.
Come on, Lovely! Woo, 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 woo! Hey, beauties!
There are hundreds of them. They're coming from all the way around there and all the way around here. I'm really putting on a show. Woo! Woo!
Just a jump then.
Not every day, though, is plain sailing. The Yankees' working sheet isn't positioned well on the pole and is starting to chafe. That means we have to get the pole down, drop the sail and reconnect the sheet.
It's the sheet released. You have to pull the sail out though to get to it, because that's the only problem with the Yankee. They're a little bit high to get to.
The clue on our Yankee sits about 10 feet off the deck, so to reach it, we have to unroll it first, then drop it. And this is the problem, quite significant chafing, so we'll have to adjust the guys on the pole at some point. Once the sail is down, Steve cuts off the damaged end of the sheet and reties it, eventually. Then we have to get the Yankee back up again, feeding it into the foil by hand. The only good thing about all this is that when we've finished, the wind has changed direction, so we pull the Yankee out again without the pole. Phew. Well, as you can see, the wind has pretty much dropped. This is us trying to sail at 1 knot, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to show you around downstairs, because when we're becalmed, we can actually get things done. Here's Steve, sitting behind the fruit bowl, catching up on a bit of editing.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to do that, although I think I'm going to have to go and get some sails down. It looks like we've lost the wind completely now.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway, this is where we sleep. We're operating a system of 3 on, 3 off, 4 on, 4 off overnight. That might change, but that suits us at the moment. And the other thing I've been managing to do, come into the galley, is cook. I have a lasagna in there. So,
Smells lovely.
it does smell lovely. So I'm going to get the lasagna out and maybe we should take the sails down.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Ooh. Vegetable lasagna. I find that you do have to use the vegetables, otherwise they go off. And then we can start eating the contents of the freezer.
Yeah, we're losing the bananas.
We are. Banana bread, maybe?
Yeah, banana bread.
Okay, do you need a hand?
No, I think actually I'm going to leave the sails up. I was going to bring them down, but it's not flapping with the engine going. Got enough apparent wind to keep them there, so let's leave them like that. Have some dinner. are just settling in for the night now. Had a great day sailing, but we lost the wind completely and had to turn the engine on, and I think it's going to be on all night going by. Predict wind, which has been right for the rest of the trip, so at least we will get a full house bank, and I'm making water as well because I'd like to have full tanks for the time we get to Gambia, because it's a muddy river and we're not going to be able to make water in there. I'll just turn the lights up so you can see a bit up here. I'm sitting in the doghouse. We sat and had our evening meal, that lasagna, which was lovely, and Julie's gone down, so I'm doing the 9 till 12. She's going to do 12 till 3. I do 3 till 6. She'll do 6 till 9. So it's 3 on, 3 off, and I think that's probably what we'll do for the crossing. We might do 3 and then 4, so we get 7 hours, and then obviously you can nap during the day. But yeah, I mean it's pretty quiet at night here, apart from the second night. Actually, we made the mistake of going a little bit too close inshore. I mean, not that close. It was about 30 miles, and I thought that's about as far in as I want to go, because you think you're going to get small unlit fishing boats, and there's some piracy as well off of Mauritania, so I want to sort of stay off a little bit. But in fact, there's big trawlers out there, because there's this shelf that goes out to about 70-80 nautical miles offshore, and they're fishing that. I'm guessing they're Chinese trawlers up and down there, so we hightailed it out of there pretty quick, and we've been staying offshore now all the way down, and we'll do that and probably only go close to Dakar as we come round, and then into the river. So yeah, I think I'll go out and sit out on deck. There's no moon tonight, so the stars will look lovely. There's a bit of phosphorescence in the sea as we go through again, which looks really good, but it just doesn't show up on camera. I mean, it's pitch dark. So yeah, it's a shame to do this sort of stuff and see it. You've got to do it for real to come out and see the stars, I'm afraid. Well, it might be too dark to show you guys the stars, but with the deck lights on, I can see a little bit of the boat. And I've actually turned the engine off because a little bit of wind came up. I'm hoping to get sailing. I mean, we're doing about 2 knots at the moment, but it is amazing out here. It's just really, really freaky because it's just inky black absolutely everywhere. When I turn the deck lights off, I'll be able to see all the stars, but nothing inshore, no ships, no anything. We're just here on your own with a flat, calm sea. Yeah, really quite special.
At daybreak, more dolphins. Dolphins this early in the morning. The sun's just about coming up and they just came to say hi. New day. Lovely.
Look at this trade wind sailing, absolutely glorious. Okay, we did have a day with no wind where we did have to motor, but other than that, it's behind you, and it makes it that it's just brilliantly easy. I spent a day downstairs editing the other day, just doing the title sequence. Julie's doing her meditation on the foredeck at the moment. Does a yoga and stretching out there. A bit difficult with the preventer out because it sort of divides the deck up. But yeah, it's just been really lovely. There are different things though, with things like that chafe that we found on the second day, was it, with the sheet going through the pole. Something to look out for, a different type of sailing, because I've got some more. I'll show you up here. When I took the mainsail down the other day, I noticed the boom was a little bit low and it's in the dark, so I didn't check. I should have got up there with a torch and had a look. But you can see the clue's sitting much too far up, and that's because this tape here has broken, chafed through, and it should be holding that down. And because of that, the the outhaul is coming out at an angle and it's chafed on the metal next to the roller. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take the sail down and have a little bit of a go at that, which I'll do. Yeah, we can take the sail down tonight because I think we'll be going straight downwind with just the Yankee again tonight to get ourselves back on course. But other than that, everything's brilliant. Starlink's been working brilliantly, which is great. It's so nice to be, you know, offshore and have weather forecasts and everything else. That connectivity is just really, really good.
Talking of weather forecasts, the latest shows the wind dropping again. So we change our plans and decide to stop off in Senegal at the Saloum National Park, halfway between Dakar and Banjul. What we don't know yet is that sailing at night around Dakar is a circus. Not just the big ships, most of which at least have AIS, but the hundreds, yes, hundreds of little fishing boats, which are very tricky to see. So if you're thinking of making this trip, be warned. By morning it's easier to spot the pots and wonderful brightly coloured boats with fishermen keen to give us directions.
Boy, yes. À droite or à gauche? À droite? À droite.
And we need the help because this area is very shallow with shifting sands, so local knowledge is essential. For the next 2 hours we have a maximum of 4 metres below us, sometimes less than a metre. This is where we're headed, the village of Dinoir. Navionics thinks it's simple. Well, it isn't. Our actual route is in yellow. The sandbank, shown in dark blue, has grown. But we make it by trial and error.
Yes, weaving our way through those fishing boats. It was fun, but it was, yeah, we didn't get much sleep.
No, we had to both be on watch, absolutely on it, watching, because I mean, I've never had anything like that before with fishermen. You always have those problems when you do get lots, but nothing on this scale. And the problem is they're not lit, or if they are lit, it's maybe one little light or different coloured lights. Yeah. And they had this funny machine, didn't they, that they would blast.
Well, it was like a disco ball.
Yeah, blasting out sort of laser green light to destroy your night vision, just randomly just blast out every now and again. So yeah, it was tricky night, that one.
But mostly we've had really quiet nights, and we've been on our own. And when the wind stops, wow, it's
out
just
at
lovely.
sea is a different thing. You know, we had that one other occasion when we came close enough for trawlers, but normally we were outside and we hardly saw anything, and you can really relax. I've been listening to audiobooks. I hadn't done audiobooks before. I got Audible and I downloaded John Passmore's book. Is called The Old Man Sailing. We met him in the Anchorage before we left, and you know, he was telling us about what he was done. It's really interesting because he just went off during COVID and just sailed offshore to the Azores and back. So yeah, I've been listening to him, but not on the middle night shift because I'd fall asleep then. The midnight till 3 one.
Well, we're getting our shifts sorted, I think. 3 on 3 off to start with, and then extending a little bit to 4 on 4 off, so we get a bit deeper sleep, and then napping during the day. That seems to suit.
Yeah, but the amazing thing that happened at night that we couldn't show you, and it is the most amazing thing I've ever seen from a boat, I think, is those dolphins. They stayed with us day and night quite often. They just came in their dozens, and when they came at night there was bioluminescence, so they just lit up, didn't they?
Yeah,
they absolutely incredible. I mean, they were glowed all over, and then you had a trail that Elon Musk would have been proud of that came off the back of them like a jet, and they just whizzed around. But unfortunately, you know, the cameras just can't pick that up. You need a time exposure, so if you're on a moving boat you can't do it. But yeah, absolutely amazing.
But we're looking forward to seeing other amazing things here. This is a national park, so we hope to take the kayak out and go up some of the rivers and see what we can find. Yeah. I'm just going to get some local knowledge first, see if there's crocodiles.
Yes, there's crocodiles in the Gambia apparently.
Yeah, that would spoil your day, wouldn't it, on the kayak?
Yeah, but there's massive mangrove swamps behind us here, so we'll go and have a little look around there. And the villages, I mean, they're proper little fishing villages out here, so it's going to be interesting to see them.
It will. So thank you very much to our patrons. Thank you to our subscribers, and don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.